I can remember starting to play football. I think I was in like sixth grade, maybe like fifth grade. And I remember the physicality of the game being shocking to me. Even though I was always one of the bigger kids in my age group, in my class, whatever, I remember the physicality of the game being shocking to me. And shout out to my boy, Q Turner. He's the head coach at Simeon right now, head football coach at Simeon right now. But Q was always small relative to some of the other people on the team. But he was also always one of, if not the most physical people on the field. And he was the one that got me used to like the physicality of the game and not worrying about it in that way, to go full speed into these collisions. What I didn't know at the time, and what a lot of people around the game of football didn't know at the time, was very much about concussions, right? The buzzword around football at that time was getting your bell rung. That's what all the coaches used to tell all the players. You get hit, you come off the field, you wobbly, you dizzy, you like, I see 8 people, I see stars, I was tweaking a little bit, and your coach would be like, don't worry about it, son, you just got your bell rung. Get some water, you'll be out in a minute. So you sit down, you got some water. In a minute, he come back over there. You good to go? I'm good to go. You go back in there. Another violent collision. And after a while, you don't really realize you like loopy. It just kind of just sets in as how you feel for the day. And then you wake up the next day and you feel the same way, and you got this stomach pain. It's like, it's hard to describe if you've never had it, but it's like this emptiness, but it aches too. And you're like, man, I just don't feel right, all right? And you kind of get used to that, and you kind of just come with, that's the expectation of the game. As the times evolve, we now know those things are concussions, and what's actually happening is when you take those violent hits, whether you initiate it or you receive it, oftentimes, your actual brain is sliding around inside of your skull, and then it slides to the point where it crashes into your cranium, and now you have a concussion. That is what a concussion is. A lot of doctors will compare the impacts of hits on the football field to small car crashes. Now, certain positions, offensive line, defensive line, running back, linebacker, you take those small car crashes and you multiply them by 60, 65, 70 times over the course of a 2-3 hour football game. And again, you kind of leave the field with just this expectation that I just played a football game. I shouldn't really feel right? So you don't think a whole lot about it. Fortunately, as we've gotten more educated about it, they start to put more things in place, independent neurologists to kind of watch the players, kind of test the players. But there's 2 things inherently wrong with the process. One, football players are crazy. Don't mean that in a negative way. I love the game, played the game for as long as I could. But there's a level of crazy that you have to be to just say, hey, I'm going to run from down there as fast as I can. You run from down there as fast as you can, and we're going to hit each other as hard as we can and just see what happens. To keep doing that, you got to be a little bit off, right? I say that to say that most of the football players that I ever known will still want to go out there and play. 100% of the brains tested from football players that have died, 100% of them have tested positive for CTE. Is that to say that every single football player that's ever played a game has CTE? Not necessarily, but also probably. And it impacts people differently in a lot of different ways. And the longer you play and the more of those small car crashes you have, the more you're impacted by it. Rudy Johnson played running back for the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a pretty good running back. Unfortunately, this week he committed suicide at the age of 45, most likely due to the effects of CTE. He's certainly not the first football player to struggle with mental health issues caused by CTE after his playing career. He definitely won't be the last. There has to be more measures put in place. They're trying to put different types of helmets, different types of coverings. There are neck devices that they now have. If you're a Bears fan, look at Jaquan Brisker on Sunday. He has a thing around his neck that he wears. It kind of looks like you're wearing like a set of headphones like around your neck. But what it does is it applies pressure to the neck and keeps more blood in your head. And that's supposed to help with concussions. The fact is, whether you believe in God, science, whatever, the Creator didn't design us to run full speed into each other 70 times over and over and over again. That's just the reality of it. Also, as long as these things are in place, there are going to be people who try to circumvent the process. I remember being in high school and a coach telling me, listen, when you take your baseline test, which is a test that all football players do before the season starts, to see what your baseline is mentally, so that when they think you have a concussion on the field, you call the field, you take the baseline test again, they compare your current answers to your previous answers to decide if you're okay to go back in the game. I've had coaches tell me, and I've heard coaches tell other players, just fuck up the baseline test. That way when you come off the field with your brain in 17 different places, nobody will know if you have a concussion or if you're just stupid. So there'll be ways around it. Players want to play the game. They'll continue to do it. They know the risk. They understand it. All the retired players I've talked to said they'll continue to play the game. Some of the players have chosen to exit the game early. Either way, these concussions are very serious. CTE is very serious. And the risk, not only during your career, but thereafter, is great. We here at the Big send our deepest condolences to Rudy Johnson's family, all of his loved ones, and we'll continue to talk about these things until we find ways to make this game safer or make some type of treatment available. There's no way to test for CTE until a person is dead, but 100% of those tested that play football have been tested positive for having it. Do with that what you will. I know a lot of parents, including my brothers, telling me my nephew will never play football. He's not going to allow him. I understand that. A lot of people are making that decision as parents. Do what you got to do with it, but RIP to Rudy Johnson. This is the Herb Howard Show. Welcome.
Look, welcome to Plants on the Gridiron. It's Chicago's first and only plant-based tailgate.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the, no, here comes the, oh, here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Bigger world, baby.
And here's what we love. It is Chicago's most unique event. We combine health, we combine sports, love of football, and you gotta bear down. Chicago Bears, baby.
To see the community coming together and just enjoying some really good plant-based food. There's people here that are meat eaters, there's people here that are fully plant-based, and we can come together as a community and just really have an impactful event.
Because we are Chicago homegrown.
Come late, the food gonna be gone. Oh, I swear to God, they ain't coming back.
I am the Sumo, Morgan Park, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the Bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
What's up, y'all? This is Kyrie Irving. You're tuned into the Bigs.
What's happening is Dame Lillard, a.k.a. Dame Dollar, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
What's up? This is D Rose, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks. You're rocking with the Bigs.
Welcome back to the Herb Howard Show. My name is Herb Howard. Thank y'all so much for being here for the 6th episode. I might be wrong. We got to start counting that right. But appreciate y'all for being here. This is the 6th episode. Shout out to the team. They all holding up 6. Shout out to the team, man. Somebody said on social media yesterday, my girl E4O, in fact, was asking me about the post-game recap from one of the games, and she asked if I had like notes or if I had it written down or something like that, because she was impressed, I guess, by how I was able to retain the stats from the game. And I'm like, nah, no notes, no teleprompter. It's just me and the squad making one take magic. That's what we do, man. So shout out to the squad. I tell everybody all the time I got the easiest job on the team. Everybody else do the hard work to make this thing look good and come out good. So I appreciate the team as much as I appreciate y'all for being here. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share with at least one football fan. This is the Herb Howard Show. We just got done with the opening. Again, rest in peace to Rudy Johnson and all football players who suffered from CTE and the concussions and the impacts thereof. We got to get into some football today. We're going to go around the league, talk about some of the key games today. Certainly going to get into the Bears. But right now, it is time for Give Me a Sawbuck, where I spend 10 good minutes right now with my brother Gene. Gino, happy birthday, first of all, my brother.
Man, Joe, the love was overwhelming, man. I appreciate everybody that sent me the birthday shouts, man. I usually try to stay low-key. I usually try to stay out of the social media birthday love, but I appreciate everybody, man. And another rotation around the sun, another 360, man. So I'm happy to be here. And you see I'm fresh. Man.
I see you got the fresh fast. First thing I said when I walked in here, you got the crispy fade going on.
Man, look, man, I told y'all with the Bears victory, I wasn't getting the cut till the Bears got that first W. And now y'all see me, I'm fresh to death. And like in the words of my man Chad Butler, known to most of y'all as Pimp C, you gonna smell my cologne.
Hey, PA all day. We got to get into this football game, man. We got a few things going on. Obviously, we talked about, the possibility for the Bears to get back to a 2-2 record. I want to see y'all in the chat before I even get to, what my predictions is or what I think some of the key matchups will be or what are some of the things that will impact this game. If you're in the chat, put an L or a W in there for if you think the Bears going to get the win or go out to Vegas and take the L. They trying to get themselves back on a winning record, trying to get them not to a winning record just yet, but trying to get back to a 500, with back-to-back victory. So let me know in the chat right now if y'all think they're gonna go ahead and get it done, man. They go out to Vegas. It's a beatable Vegas team. They got issues, but the Bears got issues. I mean, one of the biggest matchups I'm gonna be looking forward to is the Raiders running game offensively versus the Bears running defense. The Raiders running game hasn't been able to get out to a good start. They spent the number 6 overall pick on running back Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State. He had a phenomenal college career. He's immensely talented. I think he's going to have a good pro career, but they haven't been able to get him going yet. He's somewhere around like 3 yards a carry right now, 3.1 I think it is per carry right now. They can't really get him going. They can't really block for him up front. But maybe the Bears is just what the doctor ordered for the Raiders, man, because their run defense has been bad. They've been giving up 4.5, 5 yards a pop to these running backs. So something's got to give. Either the Bears defense has to play better or the Raiders running game will get better. One of the two should happen out there on Sunday, or maybe it'll be a wash. I think he might have like 17 carries, 18 carries for like 82 yards or something like that, and it just be a wash. But we'll see, man. What you thinking of going into it?
That's what I came here for, man, to talk to you about my keys to a Bears W. Like I said, man, I got to do some extra film work and some extra studying before I come up here and chop it up with you, man.
Well, we like to be on point here at the Herb Howard Show, so got to get yourself in order.
So earlier this week, I think I heard Declan Doyle talking about how great of a schemer Coach Ben Johnson is. So I was thinking about his number one scheme this week has to be stifling Max Crosby, because Max Crosby is coming for the gusto. Like he's nonstop, full throttle for 60 minutes. So I want to see the offensive line have another stellar performance, specifically in the passing game, protecting Caleb Williams.
Max Crosby is what you call a game wrecker. He's what football coaches refer to as a motherfucker. And as soon as you get to game planning on the week, you put the opposing defense up there, and you circle 98 as big as you can, as many times as you can,
Right.
and coaches will go, this dude will wreck our day if we don't take care of him. Every single snap, know where he is and deal with him, or he's going to wreck the play. So this idea of like, okay, we're just gonna have him one-on-one with Braxton Jones,
No,
or
you're not.
one-on-one with Darnell Wright,
No,
or
you're not.
we're gonna put him with a tight end. Then you might as well give them the ball, because Caleb's about to end up on his back and it's gonna be ugly. So you got to deal with 98. But what you said was key. His motor, man, he's all day long, right? He's not just a great player. You got some great players that can dominate the game. They can do their thing, but they don't have that because of their greatness. They don't always give maximum effort.
Right.
Now he's rushing up the field. The ball get behind him. He getting out the stack. He running 30 yards down the field. He's everywhere. He's that type of dude. You got to deal with 98 if you want to have some success against the Raiders.
With the Bears defensive line specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I read a stat about last week that Montez Sweat only played like 60 to 65% of the plays. Do you think that's, again, Ben Johnson's scheme of just getting guys in and out, not trying to wear them out earlier? Or is that a Montez Sweat issue?
No, I think Montez is not only supremely talented, but I think he's in very good shape. What I think you saw was I think he played 58% of the snaps on Sunday against the Cowboys. But what I think you saw really was the game kind of got away from the Cowboys.
Okay.
And so you had some opportunities to get guys in. You saw Dominique Robinson come in and get a sack. You saw some of the other guys rotating in. And so it just made a lot of sense. I know Grady Jarrett's also dealing with the knee issue, so you're trying to take some time off of him as well. So that just made a lot of sense. I know a lot of people, you weren't the only person that mentioned that. A lot of people have been concerned, well, why did Montez only play this much? The Bears were up three scores.
Makes sense.
If you want to get your guys some rest, go ahead and get them some rest. Some guys like to pad their stats in them times, though. You know what I mean? So they go either way, but it's not anything I'm concerned about. I think Montez can play a full 4-quarter game. He can give you 60, 65 snaps you need to. I'm not concerned about his condition or nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a legit question, though. I look at the other side of the ball offensively for the Bears, right? And we talk about Max Crosby. You got to deal with him, but what's good, there's not a whole lot of other guys that you like, we concerned about him. You know what I mean? Not to disrespect them guys in the league, but game wreckers, no, especially in that secondary, man. They got some guys that are journeymen, guys that other teams gave up on. One of their corners, Kelvin Blue, he's a 5th-round pick from 2023, and he's already playing on his 5th team. And now he's about to start. If you Rome Odunze, DJ Moore, Olamide Zaccheaus, Luther Burden III, you gotta be licking your chops. Like, we at shorty. Like, that's just what it is. If you Ben Johnson, you talking about scheming?
Yeah.
How do I scheme up my guys to get one-on-one with Buddy? How do we deal with that?
Into my next key, the continued trust in Caleb Williams. The Bears have continued to run more and more motion on the offensive side. So what that's telling me is Ben Johnson has that belief in Caleb Williams to get the offense going and continue to scheme up some more things. So I want to see Caleb have another good week and, lead that team offensively to another W.
Yeah, no, I feel that. But motion is going to be a constant in Ben Johnson's offense. Whether he trusts Caleb or not, he's going to motion almost every play, because what motion allows you to do is actually a help for the quarterback, right? It's more so than like trusting him to do it. It's like, let me do this to help you.
Okay.
Once you send somebody in motion, the defense has to do something, right? And then what they do or don't do tells you
what you're going to do.
Right. It tells you what they're in. It gives you a clue to what they're in. If I motion this receiver from across over here and bring him all the way across, if that corner comes with him, then I know they're in man-to-man coverage, right? If that corner does not come with him, I know they're in zone coverage, right? You see guys shift over, you see guys bump, that changes landmarks, that changes, path of the routes, those types of things. So it's a help that you use motion for, and Ben Johnson uses it a ton because he's trying to scheme things up to create mismatches all day long.
The Bears have to get the lead early. Turn it into a home game, man. You know Chicago is coming down to Vegas, Vegas deep. I don't know. You think it'll be 50-50, maybe 55-45 Chicago?
I'll tell you what, it'll be close. We know the whole city coming out, but the Bears fans just travel well in general, man. And if the Bears can play well on the road, the fans tend to take over other people's stadiums. And you get that let's go Bears real loud. Now, here's the problem with Bears fans. Because we aren't used to winning, and we certainly aren't used to having explosive offenses, we don't really know how to be fans on offense in the stadium. And what I mean by that is you get the times in the stadium, in Soldier Field or wherever, right, where the offense makes a big play and the crowd is going crazy. And that's cool. Go crazy for a little while. But then y'all have to be quiet, man, so that we can operate this, right? So we can function at a high level, so we can hear the play call coming in, so we can call these checks, call these motions, right? Bears fans just still going ape shit. They get down in the red zone, they're going crazy. We can't hear, bro. And so you look at the sideline, you see the whole team from head coaches to players, they all like, quiet, be quiet. Bears fans don't know to be quiet on offense because we just like, oh, that's exciting. We don't get big plays, so we go crazy. Bears decide to go for it on fourth down against the Cowboys. As soon as they have the offense stay out there and go for the fourth down, crowd. Like, can y'all be quiet? Make noise when the other team has the ball. Be quiet when we have the ball, man. And sometimes they put up on the board like, be quiet, Bears at work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Bears fans love the passion, love the excitement. They certainly know the game. I'm not saying they don't know the game, but the situations of when to be quiet and when not, because we haven't experienced many great offenses, they be bugging, and you got to spend so much time like just telling like, be quiet, man, be quiet. And then you get the people who think they know, right, that, okay, I know it's supposed to be quiet now. So now they're upset that everybody else is loud. So what are they doing now? Shut up! Everybody shut up! You don't think you're adding to this noise, my boy? Just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So it's always a thing with Bears fans that be cracking me up, man.
The gift and the curse, huh?
We're just not used to playing good offense. I understand it, but you got to learn it.
What about Raiders fans, though, man? It's like,
what about them?
They've been all over the place. Now they landed in Vegas. It's like where are the Raiders fans coming from? Are they coming from Oakland? Are they coming from LA? Do we have resident Vegas Raiders fans? Are the Raiders like this national universal brand like the Bears and some of these other Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants?
I mean, I do think they're one of the, biggest brands in the league, but in terms of just loyal fan base, yeah, in Vegas, everybody's a transplant. So you can adopt the team if you want, but in terms of that passion and all that, no, I don't ever see that place becoming like a huge home field advantage, right? I don't really see it being that way where they get these raucous crowds. It's not Oakland, it ain't the black hole. You can't recreate the black hole in Vegas. You know what I mean? They done been in Oakland and LA, like you said, now they in Vegas. Not a long trip from Oakland and LA, but Oakland pissed that they left. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't think they have a real home field advantage. I do think they have a fan base. It's one, like I said, it's one of the most recognizable brands in sports. But I think that's largely due to NWA and Cube and Easy and them, you know what I mean? For the brand being what it is. Shout out to Al Davis, but I just don't think that in terms of a home field advantage, they got that kind of raucous fan base that anybody's going to be worried about.
Do the Bears go to Allegiant Stadium, step foot on Al Davis Way, and come back to the soil with a W?
I'm going to say, yeah. I think the Bears go out there. I think the Bears go out there and play well. I think the Bears go out there and get the job done and play well enough to get a victory out there. They need to get themselves to 2-2 before the bye. They get back from the bye. They should heal up. They got a lot of guys out right now, mainly Kyler Gordon, TJ Edwards. Colston Loveland hasn't practiced all week to this point. So they got to get themselves healthy, and they can get through this game. That'll give them an opportunity to get healthy. I saw TJ Edwards in the hallway up at Hallis yesterday, and I just told him, I was like, see you in D.C., right? And he kind of laughed. I won't say what he said because, whatever. But, to me, if they can get through this game without those guys, then they get the extra week for the bye, and, then they should get healthy going to D.C., which is going to be a huge Monday night game, the big rematch, if you will, although the Bears have played out there like 2-3. This is the third year in a row they've played out there. But the Hail Mary game from last year, I talked to Tyreek Stevenson about that for about 10 minutes in the locker room yesterday. Just about the up and down relationship that he has with Chicago media and fans, and one week they love him and next week they hate him and back and forth, and he's like, man, it's been like that my whole career, so I just try to continue to do me. But I'm proud of Reek, and I'm also proud of Coach Dennis Allen, which is another reason why I think they'll win. He showed last week an ability to deviate from his preferred playing style,
All right.
And I think that's critical. And I asked him that in his press conference yesterday, and he was like, whatever we got to do to limit the points, man. He's like, all yards and all that, yada, 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 I don't really care. We got to limit the points. And so I'm proud of him for being able to do that. Coach Johnson talks about doing that offensively, whether you run it 40 times, throw it 40 times, do what you need to do to win. So if DA does that, he should be able to put together a good game plan against Vegas. And I got the Bears coming out there with a win. I'll say 24-16.
24-16. I was right around me. I definitely had the Bears coming out of there with a W. I said 27-17, but I'm definitely looking for them to set the standard early, get on top, don't relinquish the lead, and I'm looking for the run defense to stifle Ashton Jeanty and start to stack days, man. The defense has to start to stack these days so we can continue to move forward. So we'll see, man.
Bears had 4 turnovers last week against the Dallas Cowboys. Geno Smith has thrown 4 picks so far this season. You look for the Bears to be able to get their hands on the football from Geno Smith. Also, Ashton Jeanty, only 144 yards and 1 touchdown through the first 3 weeks. Shout out to the stats from Suge. I told y'all Suge sent the graphic. I told y'all Suge sent the graphic for his stats for Suge segment.
Yes.
I told y'all what I told him.
It was a profile picture of Suge.
Suge, we love you, brother. Thank you.
Suge is behind the scenes, man. We're going to keep Suge a mystery.
Don't let this be the Geno Smith game. All right, guys, come on. We're coming to Vegas. Don't embarrass us, man. Please, don't embarrass us, man.
The city will be out in Vegas. Me and Gene will be out there covering it for you. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Follow me, follow Gene. I'm glad you're back on Twitter, too, man. I'm excited about that.
Man, sometimes you got to give the people what they want, man. The boss man, T-Tom, told me I need the J back down. So what did I do?
J down.
The boy is Bizak.
We back. We'll catch y'all in Vegas. Got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go around the league. What are some of the key games I've got my eye on for this particular week? What they could mean for the Bears and for the other teams across these divisions. This is the Herb Howard Show. Appreciate y'all for being here. We should turn that into a thing. Over, under on Give Me a Sock Buck. Give Me a Sock Buck is supposed to be 10 minutes. If you of the culture, you get the reference of Give Me a Sock Buck. If you're not, it'll catch up to you a little bit sooner. But it's supposed to be 10 minutes. P said we're going to start betting over, under, whether or not I hit that mark, because I did not hit it in the previous segment. But it's all good. Welcome back to the Herb Howard Show. I am Herb Howard. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This is episode 6. Glad y'all been rocking with us. Please continue to do so. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with at least one football fan. We would greatly, greatly appreciate that. P, if you could pull up the comments at some point during this segment so I can show a little love and appreciation for some of the stuff that's been coming through. But right now it is time to go around the league. Some of the key games that I will have my eye on for this week 4 in the National Football League. First of all, I started off last night, Thursday Night Football. Cardinals hosted the Seahawks. I don't know what's up with the Cardinals, man. They couldn't get started. You know what I mean? Early last year coming out the draft, I was all Marvin Harrison. I wanted Marvin Harrison or nothing. And I'm not coming off the shorty yet. I'm not saying he's not going to be that, but he got some mental, emotional stuff that he got to work through so that his talent can really come through. He's still dealing with a lot of drops. He caught a touchdown, last night, and you could just kind of feel the relief. He just took a knee and just sat there in the end zone like, God, thank you. Like, he was a monster at Ohio State. I know he has that kind of ability in him. He's Marvin Harrison's son, for crying out loud. Keep it rocking, man. The Eagles play the Bucks. I think that's going to be a pretty big game as well. You got two teams that are playing really good football in the NFC. Probably going to be two playoff teams jockeying for some position. Are the Bucks the real deal? Baker Mayfield has been playing at a really, really high level. I know they've been playing close games. I think they're 3-0, but margin of victory is like 6 points, I think it is. So really close games, but he's been playing well down the stretch. Got to see what that looks like against the Philadelphia Eagles and the defending champs. The Ravens, got to see the Chiefs. Two teams that really need dubs. Two teams that are really starting off pretty bad, but we also know there are teams that are led by two of the best football players in the National Football League, Lamar Jackson for the Ravens and, of course, Pat Mahomes for the Chiefs. Two desperate football teams. Two good football teams that have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations, or at least had them coming into the season. Got to see what that looks like when those two Titans and Hall of Fame quarterbacks see each other on Sunday. The Vikings play the Steelers. I'm interested in this game because the Bears still have to play both of these teams. Obviously, they play the Vikings one more time. Got to go up to Minnesota, my favorite stadium in the league. And then the Steelers come to Soldier Field a little bit later. So I want to see, what that matchup looks like between those two teams early. I think both of them are 2-1 right now, trying to get themselves to their third victory. Should be a pretty good game. Lastly, the Packers. The Packers and Mr. Parsons. Old Micah. Old Super Bowl talking guy. He goes back to the Dallas Cowboys. Go back to Dallas. They play the Cowboys. It's going to be I'm just going to be interested to see how they greet him, right? Do they boo him? Because most of the Cowboys fans were mad at Jerry Jones, right? They're mad at Jerry Jones for trading him. I didn't hear a lot of people that was pissed at Michael Parsons for not taking the smaller deal. He ended up getting 188 from the Packers, so good for him for not taking no small deal. But I'll be interested to see if they greet him with boos or they show him some love. That'd be interesting. But more importantly, who's going to win the game? And can he go out there and be a game wrecker against Dak and those boys and kind of rub it in Jerry Jones' face just a little bit? So those are the things I'll be looking for as we go around the league. Shout out to y'all again for some of these comments. I truly appreciate it. Kevin, I see you in the comments. I'm something fool. I've been peeping all the comments and the critiques. We need that, man. Anything y'all want to see more of, less of, things y'all think we need to tweak. We here for the positive feedback or the critiques. We here for it, man. We want to make it better and better as we go. This is episode 6. I think we coming along okay, but y'all continue to come through it though. So that's always appreciated. Never stop with none of that. We grateful for that. Crystal, I see you in the comments. I see y'all picking the Bears to win the game. I'm also picking the Bears to win the game. We will see how that comes out. Again, me and Gino will be out there this weekend in Vegas. Catch Gino on the strip going crazy. That's probably going to be me, not him for sure. But either way, we'll see y'all if y'all going to be out there. If not, y'all have a safe weekend. Either way, Bears need a dub. They're trying to get to 2-2 before their bye week. Hit the reset button, do some self-scouting, some self-assessment, get healthy, and then get ready for the rest of their season. They play really, really well at home against the Dallas Cowboys. Got to see if that type of performance can travel on the road. Ben Johnson trying to get his first road win as a head coach. We got to go. Shout out to the team for doing all of the hard work. Shout out to P for doing everything he does to make us look, sound good. Shout out to T for running the operation, keeping things on point, and just yelling at us because he just wants to. I think he just enjoys yelling at us sometimes. So it is what it is. Appreciate Gene for checking in, giving me a sawbuck or a dub, whatever it was today. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us a little bit over. We'll see if we can get back to 30 minutes on the next episode of the Herb Howard Show. Again, I am Herb Howard. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.